All right. There is this narrative that is currently going on right now in Nigeria that no matter what Nigerians do, no matter how they participate, how they bring themselves out to participate in the election, that there will not be any difference. That the current government will still be in power, will still return back to Asu Rock in 2027. This has been the narrative now that most people have used to discourage so many voters, to make them lose hope that there is nothing that can be done in Nigeria. One of these narratives is from a popular pastor in Port Harcourt. I do not want to talk about the pastor right now. The person I really want to dwell on this moment is this guy they call David Hundeyin, I don't know how to pronounce that name well. David, who they call investigative journalist. I watched one of his videos when he was trying to analyze what will happen in 2027 general election. And in his video, he makes so many comments. In his analysis, there are so many things I disagree with in his analysis. And I want to point out some of them which are really key, are important to people that that want to change Nigeria, so that you will not get discouraged, so that you will know that 2027, we are going to bring a change in Nigeria. 2027, we are going to have a government change in Nigeria. In 2027, we are going to have a different government, a legitimate government, a responsible government in Asu Rock. Now, one of the things David mentioned was this. He said that in 2023 general election, Tinubu was not in power, yet he was able to manipulate himself back to Asu Rock. What do you feel now that it has everything? The police, the judiciary, the security agency, everything, INEC. Why do you think now Nigeria will be able to remove it from Asu Rock? I disagree with David on that analysis, because if David was to be a really investigative journalist, he should know that even though Tinubu was not in Asu Rock in 2023, even though Tinubu was not, part of the government, that was Buhari government, it was not part of Buhari government, Tinubu was inside Buhari government. What do I mean by that? Tinubu was part and parcel of Buhari government. Tinubu was himself Buhari government. I give you an example. When during NSAS, you see that the anger was almost, immediately directed to Tinubu, to the extent that Tinubu ran out of Lagos. He ran away until the tension died down. So that's to tell you that most people understand that Tinubu was running things behind. Tinubu was running, concurrently running a government within Buhari government, if you know what I meant. Tinubu knows what people in Asu Rock then knows in Buhari government. This is why you see then, when they were coming back, when Tinubu, initiated interest to run for the 2023 general election, when the Buhari government wanted to bring in Lawal, the then Senate president, Tinubu won them secretly. If you try that, I know your secret. Tinubu knows everything about the government. He was running the government. He was part of the government. So if you say Tinubu was not part of Buhari government, Tinubu was part and parcel of Buhari government. That's why Tinubu could instruct Mahmoud in 2023 to switch off the server. That was what happened. Whether anybody believe it or not, the server was switched off. That's not what we are doing right now. So I disagree with you on that Tinubu was not in power. That Tinubu was 100% in power, but disguising himself during Buhari regime. That's why you see Buhari, they could not displace him to bring in Lawal, because Tinubu knows what they know. Tinubu was inside that government. It decides what happens in that government. So if you think Tinubu was not part of the government, and now that Tinubu is in government, that he has the machinery, Tinubu then has the machinery. Even now, he still has the machinery. But one thing I will let you know is that the game will be different. It will be different in the sense that then in 2023, Nigerians were caught unaware. This is why I said we were wrong in your analysis. Nigerians were caught unaware in the sense that Mahmoud was going from media station telling Nigerians that election will be free and fair, that result will be transmitted in no time. Every Nigerian believed him until the day of election. So Nigerians were caught unaware and Nigerians were not prepared. And again, the main candidate, the person that won the election, which is Peter Obi, which is everybody, even a toddler know that Obi won that election. The person that won the election was not ready to revote. That was why Tinubu could get away with that shenanigan he did in 2027. I have given you why I disagree with you. Number one, Tinubu was much in Buhari government. Number two, Nigerians were deceived by Mahmoud. Number three, Obi did not act. Right now, as I speak to you now, INEC has displayed to Nigeria that the election is not going to be free and fair, that they are going to manipulate the election. Now, Nigerians are prepared to defend their vote with whatever it is. Number two, Tinubu now knows that the game is different. Number three, Obi now has stepped out of the game. You can see he has spoken in different occasion that anybody that does not want to count the result, that person will be counted. You should go out, explain what that means by yourself. So I am telling you now, David, that your analysis is wrong. And again, the 2027 will be different from 2023. Nigerians are ready to defend their vote. Nigerians are ready to revote. So that brings me to tell you that, David, that in 2027, you will be shocked that your analysis, what you have said about Tinubu manipulating the election, if Tinubu dare to manipulate the election, the game will be different. The situation will be different. Nigerians are going to revote. So I'm using it to tell many of you that are watching me right now, disregard that analysis, come out and get your PVC to vote. Now, another thing David said that I disagree with is that he said the opposition is divided to the extent that they will not have the strength to withstand Tinubu. Now, I think if David is really an investigative journalist, he should understand that the same opposition he's talking about, everything is being orchestrated by Tinubu. Who are this opposition? The main opposition is referring to are the ADC and the PDP. First, the ADC. The ADC was a game plan by Tinubu and Atiku. Whether you believe it or not, that is your business. Tinubu and Atiku planned ADC to rob Obi in. But they didn't, what they faced to understand is that Obi was smarter than them. That was why Obi could pull out of, the ADC. You saw what happened in the ADC, David. Tinubu caused the problems that happened in ABC. He brought in person of Bala, is it Bala Gombe? What do they call him? Nephew Bala Gombe, which the chief of staff to the president, Gbajabi Amila, confessed that they sent in somebody there to scatter ADC. Now, the issue of PDP, I have just mentioned these two opposition, which are the main opposition in Nigeria right now. Then, before NDC. Now, you know how Wike is being planted the PDP to disorganize PDP. PDP that now has two factions that produce different presidential candidates. One of whom Jonathan have come out, which I know that one is going to rubbish himself. I don't know what what is driving his idea to come out to contest under one faction of PDP. Like I said, he's coming out to disgrace himself, to rob himself of that respect people like me and millions of Nigerians give to him, and even in Africa. It's coming to disgrace himself if actually he's planning, he's made up his mind to run. So, David, you understand all of this. I know you know all of this, so I don't know why what informed your analysis that you said opposition is divided. No opposition is divided in Nigeria. In fact, the only opposition we have in Nigeria is Peter Obi. NDC is just, if you go ahead, it's just a name. The opposition we have right now is Peter Obi. So they know this is the only person they cannot destroy, they cannot divide. So this is why you see anywhere Obi goes, he attracts millions of Nigeria. So you see millions of people are trooping into ADC. So the only opposition we have right now in Nigeria, which is very, very strong right now, is ADC. So, David, your analysis is wrong that opposition is divided. No opposition is divided. The only people that are divided are the same opposition Tinubu orchestrated. Tinubu formed APC. Tinubu brought, ADC. Tinubu brought in a Wike to destroy PDP. So those are the opposition that, in fact, to me, they are not opposition. The only opposition right now in Nigeria is NDC, which is strong and formidable. So to that, your analysis is wrong. And number 3, you said there will be voter apathy in 2027. In fact, the voter apathy that will come in 2027 will be, far worse than that of the 2023. David, let me remind you that if you are really an investigative journalist, you should understand that what happened in 2023 was not voter apathy. It was voter suppression. So, David, learn how to differentiate between voter apathy and voter suppression. What happened in 2023 was voter suppression, not voter apathy. Let me differentiate them for you in case you don't know. I know you know, but I will just choose to do your analysis the way you want. Now, voter apathy is when, eligible voters refuse to vote. Reason being that they assume or they know that they feel that their vote will not count. They feel that there's no point voting. If they vote, their vote will not count. But in 2023, it wasn't so. Even in spite of the intimidation, people troop out to register for their PVC. That was when INEC began to do their voter suppression. They refused to register people for their PVC. What is going on right now, currently right now in Nigeria? I remember that in Lagos, the Electoral Commission in Lagos, Mr. Agbaje, he refused to register millions of Nigerians who were ready to register. Those people were disenfranchised. Again, we saw in Rivers State where so many PVC were dumped in the gutters. Apart from Rivers State, in the southern part of the country, millions of Nigeria were refused to register to vote. Even those that managed to get their voters card on election day, they were intimidated. They were refused to vote. They were given all sorts of threats to come out to vote. So that is what we call voter suppression. Who orchestrated all these things? APC in connivance with INEC. That is voter suppression, not voters apathy. So those people that were disenfranchised, that came out to register and they were not given the opportunity to do so, will you call that a voter apathy? No. That is voter suppression. Voter apathy is when people, they have their PVC, they have registered to vote, but on election day, they refuse to come out. Or they don't even show concern to come and register for any PVC. But in this case, Nigerians are trooping out to register, but they are being frustrated. For example, I watched a video just of recent from this guy called Ghana in Nigeria, who says they went to Cuba in Abuja to register. They were there for over 2 hours. And amongst 100 people that came out to register, within that 2 hours, they were only able to register 10 people. The reason being that there was no network. This is a deliberate attempt from INEC to make sure there is no network on their register people, to disenfranchise people. Now, tomorrow, if on election day, those guys have voters card not to vote, David, will you call that a voter apathy? So, your analysis is wrong. Your analysis is just, what you imagine in your head. I don't know what prompts you to say those analyses. Those analyses are wrong. They are not the true reflection of what's happening in Nigeria. And I want millions of Nigerians that want David disregard those analyses. Those analyses are fake. The analysis to me, they are useless. The analysis to me, they are not the true reflection of what Nigeria is facing right now. And David, if you don't have anything to say, I will advise, like you say, you have stayed out of Nigeria, better just shut up and keep quiet. Don't come out and begin to confuse and make so many voters lose hope. I don't know what instigated you or what made you to say those analyses. Because in all ramifications, those analyses were completely wrong. And the last one I pick up from there, he said, now you will see the international media will begin to pick headlines and begin to put a narrative so that when APC, manipulate themselves to power, they will say, oh, we said it before that the opposition was divided. He said, in name one, he said Bloomberg. Bloomberg is a national international newspaper. He said Bloomberg reported that opposition is already divided. And David, let me also remind you that this newspaper you are referring to, they are part of the problem Nigeria is facing. They don't want a change in Nigeria because they benefit from whatever is happening in Nigeria, the insecurity, the hunger, the poverty. So whatever you say about international, whether international media, international government, I don't see how it will change the situation in Nigeria. So they benefited from whatever is happening in Nigeria. So they will report the negative stuff. They will report propaganda. Just as the local media in Nigeria reported the same propaganda that says there was voter apathy in 2023. There was no voter apathy. There was voter suppression. That was what happened in 2023. So learn to differentiate between voter apathy and voter suppression. David, I know you know this, but I don't know what informed your decision to come and begin to give those wrong analyses online to deceive voters. Like I said, if you don't have anything to analyze, if you don't have anything to say, just shut up. Like you said, you have kept away from what's happening in Nigeria. So just keep wherever you are and leave the situation in Nigeria. Let Nigerians deal with it themselves. And another thing he said, election cannot remove Tinubu. In other words, what David is insinuating is a revolution. Now, David, you sit outside Nigeria, you are calling for a revolution. Even though you do not say it loud, that is what you indirectly mean. That Nigeria should go and protest and call for a revolution. And you and I know that this, heartless government, this evil that call itself government, once it gets to that extent, they will have a point to kill Nigerians, to say they were destroying, government property, they were causing, confusion in the land, they wanted to overtake the government. No, that's not what we want. David, if you want a revolution to take place, leave Nigeria, leave wherever you are and go to Nigeria. If you lead that revolution, people like us will join you. So don't sit in a foreign country, wherever you are. And I don't know, they say you are in Ghana or wherever you are. Don't sit in a foreign country and instigate, revolution in Nigeria. Now, even though I do not 100% support Showore is calling for a revolution, but it's at the front of it. It's not running away from it. That is what he has salute Showore for. Even though I do not support him 100% in some other things he does. I will give it to him. When he calls for a protest, call for a revolution, he's there at the forefront. He's not running away. So David, don't sit at the foreign, on a foreign land, foreign nation, and begin to call Nigeria to go for a revolution. That's not the solution. Now, the reason I brought this video here is to educate many Nigerians who must have watched that video. Disregard those analyses David made. Don't listen to those analyses. Those analyses are wrong. They are not the true reflection of what's happening in Nigeria. Like I said, 2027, we are going to make a change in Nigeria. So, one thing you need to do now, if you are watching me as a Nigerian, if you have not gotten your PVC, that is the most important thing for you to do right now. Don't listen to all these say that your vote will not count. If your vote will not count, Tinubu will not be sharing rice all over the place. Tinubu will not be doing it, making a do or die affair to make sure Obi is not on the ballot if your vote will not count. Why will Tinubu be doing all of this? They are trying to deceive you, to discourage you, so that you will not, get concerned about what's going on in Nigeria. And again, if you don't get concerned, the consequences might come back to you. The consequences might come back to you because, like I always say, if we don't come together to make sure Tinubu is kicked out of Aso Rock in 2027, what is going to happen from 2027 and beyond then? In fact, what you are seeing is just a child's play. Because, like I said, mark it for me today, if Tinubu managed to rig himself back into Aso Rock in 2027 and stay peacefully, Tinubu will be working towards life presidency. Mark it for me today. I have been saying this and I will continue to say it. I will read it to so many that care to listen. So, it's time for us to drop whatever differences. If you want a change in Nigeria, we should come together and get Tinubu out of Aso Rock with all we've got. We are going to defend our vote and defend it with all we've got. Like I said, defending our vote is very, very easy. It's very easy. The only way we will not be able to defend our vote is if you stay away. Because when millions, thousands are gathered in the polling unit, they will not be able to manipulate the election. Like I said, as election continue, God get very closer, I'll be giving us tips on how we are going to be defending our vote in our polling unit. As I speak to you now, I have my PVC. It's with me. I'm going to use on election day. And I am recruiting some young people that will work together in my polling unit. So let this be a campaign. First, get your PVC. And once you get your PVC, educate people that are still feeling reluctant to get their PVC. Once they get their PVC, you guys should be getting yourself prepared, ready to defend your vote. Tinubu cannot manipulate the 2027 general election. He knows that. It's not possible. So whoever is deceiving, telling you all those lies, all these analysis that do not hold water, like David, disregard them. And let's come together and get our country back in 2027. Thank you for watching this video and God bless you. Bye-bye.